day and welcome to my very first ever webinar. I'm so excited about this. I've not done this before and I'd really like to thank my very good friend Jackie for reinventing my website and getting me organised to do this. Because for those of you who know me, you'll know I've got tons of amazing information that I just love to share with you. Things that I've used myself that have made my life so much nicer and so much easier. So we're going to just talk through a few of these things today. My name is Lilia, for those of you who've never met me, Lilia Let It Go Sinclair. I teach people how to let go, how to release, how to let go of negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative emotions from the past, because sometimes we have things that have happened in the past that linger in the body, and also from projection into the future if you've got fear of the future, because my big passion is helping people not to be scared, to be able to release fear. So during this webinar I'm going to talk to you through 5 main areas. The first one is about the cells. Now, anybody that's been to one of my workshops or retreats or has worked with me privately will know that I talk about everything from a cellular level. And we have geniuses like Bruce Lipton, Candace Pert, and now Sandra Barrett, who are really explaining to us about the magic that is held within the cells and the incredible intelligence of the cells. So we know that the cells respond to our feelings, to our thoughts, to everything in our external and internal environment. The cells are incredibly intelligent and they're listening and they're transmitting signals and they're receiving signals. I think that we all know if you get put in a lie detector tester that your subconscious mind will tell the truth. It will always tell the truth unless you're very well trained. But for most of us, the subconscious mind is giving out the truth of what we are or what we have recorded. In the subconscious mind, which is probably one of the most incredibly important parts of being human, and it's really overlooked in Western medicine, because basically we have the subconscious mind has recorded everything we have ever done, seen, been in the past. So it is there with all the information in it, and I'm going to help you teach you some techniques that can really help you move away from your past, dragging your past around with you, as Hale Bloskin always used to say. And then we're going to look at the 10-step healing plan. It's a free plan. The only thing on it that has any cost is the food. And I started intuitively creating a plan because so many people write to me and ask for help, and I wanted to have some really practical advice that I could give them. So I created this plan. And you can get that on my website, one of my websites, or both of my websites actually. So that's number 2. Number 3, we're going to be looking at how we clear outdated programming, limiting beliefs, trauma from the past, maybe even inherited stuff, how we can clear all of that out from the subconscious mind so that we can either heal or just have a lot more energy, and so that we can attract exactly what we want in life. So this is possibly my deepest passion, is teaching people how to let go so that you feel this lightness and freedom and excitement about your life again. It's just, I cannot emphasize enough what a difference it will make to you. So then we're going to look at fasting. I was a nutritionist, I am a nutritionist, but I moved more into the mind side of stuff. It's just a natural progression for me, because I realised that often with food people wouldn't eat what I told them to eat and they would eat what I told them not to eat. So I kind of realised that most of us have enough basic knowledge about what's healthy and what's unhealthy, but it's the subconscious mind that is actually making our decisions for us. So when we take food out of the equation, something quite incredible can happen if you're really brave enough to look at this. Because I've got a retreat coming up in November where people can come and fast, because it's not something that everybody can do, or a lot of people believe they can't do it, but we actually all can. It's hugely, hugely powerful for your consciousness and for your vibration. When you take the digestive system, when you give the digestive system a complete rest for 5 days or 6 days, then you will feel transformationally different. But not only that, in terms of releasing, what happens is all your stuff comes up. I did one at the beginning of this year, and it is so interesting to watch what the mind conjures up, because the ego goes into like, I need to eat, I feel dizzy, I feel faint, all the reasons why it's screaming for you to eat. So it helps you learn a lot about yourself, and obviously doing it in a supported environment, we can really have a super, super fast and very, very powerful, deep transformational experience. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that too. And then number 5 is just discussing nature. You know, Hippocrates said, if you commit enough daily sins against nature, you will experience disease. Well, my whole thing is, let's get back into alignment with nature so that we can experience optimum health and vitality. So that's the 5 things that we're going to look at today. But let me just introduce myself and my story a little bit, so that you have an understanding why I do this. When I was younger, I suffered from chronic fatigue, and much as it wasn't life-threatening, it certainly was life-ruining, and I spent a lot of my time just thinking about when I could get to my bed and when I could sleep. And then eventually, after travelling in Australia, I was on a bus for 22 hours and I slept the entire way and didn't want to get off, and I thought, wow, there's something very, very wrong with you. And also fatigue obviously affects our thinking. It drags our thinking down. It becomes very difficult to be optimistic and happy. And anybody who's got children or seen young children, you know the minute they get tired, their behaviour just goes absolutely through the floor. So that happens to all of us, child or adult. So I really struggled with that. Was I unhappy because I was tired? Was I tired because I was unhappy? I suppose there was depression in there as well. Anyway, after that, sleeping 22 hours on that bus, I thought, I need to do something here. And I went on a very extreme detox, and I did the things that I'm going to share with you today. They're all on the healing plan. And in a very short space of time, now I understand, about 8 weeks, I was like a different person. I was through the roof with my energy, and I was so relieved to feel normal again. So that was my own personal story. But then on top of that, my best friend's daughter was diagnosed with leukemia, and that changed not just my life, but pretty much everybody in our kind of inner circle's lives. And I was absolutely obsessed by, why does your immune system let you down? You know, especially at that young age, 16. But more so even than that. And then she went into the system which most people who have cancer go into, which is from appointment to appointment, and there's so much fear around it. I found it incredibly stressful for me, so I don't know what the people that are actually in the system are feeling like. I'm working with a couple of people right now, and there's a lot of fear, and it's very difficult to believe that you can heal when you're, well, it's not very difficult, it's impossible to keep your hope and your inspiration up when you're in deep fear. So as I said, I studied nutrition, and then I went on, and the first emotional release technique that I learned was the Sedona method. And I spent a time in Sedona. I did my coach level 1 and 2, and I did the 7-day and then the 9-day retreat, which I cannot recommend highly enough. And that's where I saw miracles happening, and that's when my search seemed to have come to some kind of an end. At least I felt that I had the final piece in the puzzle. Nutrition is hugely important, exercise is important, but actually what is more important, I believe, is what is in the subconscious mind, and how can we stay hopeful and happy and peaceful and joyful when everything around us is suggesting something very different. So what I'm going to bring to you today and inspire you with today is like nearly 3 decades of research. I'm an avid researcher and reader. I'm always looking for a way, the most simple ways, because a lot of people I work with are very sick, so, and also may have children, so I have to find ways that practical and simple ways to inspire people to get back into alignment. If you're tired, it's very difficult to motivate yourself, so getting the energy up first can really help, because how you feel, your thoughts go in line with how you feel. So when you release a feeling, your thinking will change instantly. And that's why some people call me a witch, for the right reasons, obviously. When I help people to release a negative feeling and their thinking changes instantly, it can be very like, what just happened there? And you know, before I went to Sedona, that's what happened to me. I had an intense experience of bliss with a release, just watching Hailed Waskin, the owner of the Sedona Method brand, on DVD. And then my friend had another profound experience with releasing an abscess in her mouth, which was threatening her, really threatening her health. So I saw what I thought at that time were miracles happening, and now I realise it's just about energy. So let me just start. Everything in the universe is energy. We are energy, our thoughts, our words, our feelings, everything is energy, our actions. So, and everything in the universe has a frequency, a vibration, and including us. And I'm sure you know, you've gone into a room, somebody's in a fantastic mood, and they can lift you up. Equally, if they're in a very negative mood, they can bring you right down. We all know that we pick up on the sixth sense, the intuition. We're all aware of that, but it's how we can consciously, mindfully become more aware of our vibration, how we're affecting others, and primarily, for me, how you're affecting your health. Because what can happen is long-term stress and fear will kill you. You know, if it keeps on and on and on and on and on, and that's why I feel so passionate about this. If you've been diagnosed with a terminal or a so-called incurable disease, you will be instilled with fear, which makes your health worse. So that's why if you have any fear in your body at all, please PM me. I can guarantee within a few minutes I can help you to release that. And releasing is a bit like going to the gym. Often you'll feel better that first time, but you need to keep repeating and repeating so that you can really, really become powerful and understanding that you can change how you feel and releasing the emotions. So let's get back to the cells. I get so excited about this stuff. I'm all over the place. So we start with the cells. And again, when I was learning about nutrition and how food impacts us at a cellular level as a cell, then I was listening to Bruce Lipton's audiobook Biology of Belief, and he was so excited when he discovered that the cell membrane is responding or reacting to us, to what we're saying, to what we're thinking, to what we're feeling, but most importantly, to what we are believing. What we are believing. What do you believe about yourself, about the world, about others, about your abilities? Really, really important. I mean, Greg Braden does some brilliant work on this as well. When we understand what we are believing is driving what we are feeling, what we are feeling is driving our DNA. We can actually unfurl the DNA and tighten it up again with what we're feeling based on what we're believing about what we're thinking. Crazy, crazy stuff, but so exciting. This will set you free from negative thinking and negative thoughts and repeating negative behaviours. I think this is a hugely exciting time for healing, but not just for healing, just for actually getting more out your life. Quite simply, even if you don't have an incurable disease or a chronic, horrible disease, even if you're just like, well, is this it? You know, I would really like to travel more. I would really like to meet the person that will really help me grow through love and fun and joy. I would really like more money to help others. I would really like to give back. Whatever it is that you would love, your cells are helping you to get that or not. So we know that when we're having our feelings, oh, I look at my grandchildren and the cells just expand with love. I love looking at their little faces. And then it's something maybe that's a bit negative, seeing the refugees, and suddenly the cells go, oh. Because here's what happens, this is positive, this is negative. This is love. This is fear. This is trust and acceptance. This is resistance. Can you get the picture? And the cells all day long are responding and reacting to what we're thinking and feeling. But on top of that, they're also, our subconscious mind is like the hard drive of a computer. There's a lot of stuff on there from years ago, particularly if you've got an old laptop or computer. You know what I'm talking about. There'll be stuff on there you've forgotten about completely, but it still could be slowing your laptop down or your PC. There'll be stuff that's running in the background that maybe you've not noticed that's slowing it down. And this is what we are like. Because we are conditioned, programmed, from when we're born, they reckon the first 2 years of our lives are super, super important in terms of our brain's on a different frequency. It's more of a hypnotic frequency, and you'll see that with children. They just go away into another little world. But the kind of slightly perturbing thing about that is they're absorbing everything around, even the stuff that we're not fully aware that they're absorbing. So the first 2 years of your life, you're getting a lot of stuff going in there. Also, they reckon by the time you're 2 years old, you've been told between 60 and 80,000 times not to do something, or something terrible will happen to you. So we've already, the fear based has started. Even although as a mum, you obviously, or as a parent, you're trying to protect your child, we tend to do that through fear. If you don't do that, that's going to happen. So again, over a period of time, months, years, decades, we become very fear-based. So a big part of my passion is to help you get rid of all that fear, because, you know, there's two ways to face life. There's one through fear and there's one through love. And guess which one feels best? Guess which one gets you the best attraction? Guess which one gives you the best chance of healing from anything, no matter how incurable it has been deemed by others. And I would like to talk a little bit about Radical Remissions by Kelly Turner, PhD. An incredible book. If you are suffering right now, or you know somebody who's suffering from a disease that they've been told they don't have a lot of hope about, read this book. These people, she has interviewed thousands of people, and who have defied the odds, and she has, so it's all success stories, which is really nice, and how they became well by following these 9 steps. She took the 9 things that they were all doing, and most of them are on my healing plan, which is really nice to know that we're on the right road. Okay, so let's start. The cells. I mentioned Sandra Barrett because she has written an incredible book called The Secret of Your Cells, and it's about the intelligence in the cell. Now also Cleve Baxter, he wrote about the secret life of your cells, because he was the first man to actually measure plants responding to our, not just our attention, but our intention. So if plants are responding to our attention and intention, surely we must understand that our cells are. So this becomes very, very important for you to understand that what you think, what you say, what you feel, and what you do is impacting on your health. So if health is an issue here, these techniques are just going to help you so much. And even if you're just wanting to attract something, you think, why am I not getting the things that I would really love in my life? Or why am I not as satisfied? Then again, at a cellular level, what we're going to do in the immersion retreat and the fasting retreat, when we work one-to-one, even if you just watch my YouTube videos, everything is about creating this cellular expansion and cleaning out all the old programs, all the limiting beliefs, any past rubbish that you may have inherited or created in this lifetime. It doesn't matter. The goal is to become cellularly light, like this, expanded in this state of euphoria and ecstasy. Because when we are in this state, we can release much more easily. We feel amazing. Life looks different and it feels different, so it is different. You quite literally raise your own vibration with the techniques that I'm going to teach you. Now, one of the really important things about learning to listen to your cells and your body is because there is no one size fits all when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to exercise, when it comes to anything. What you would love, what your life purpose is, what you came here to do, what will really set you alight is completely different from what works with someone else. So for me, when I'm teaching or when I'm helping people to heal, I need to find out what is their body saying. Not me, not my conscious mind, not all the courses I've done, no. Tap right in and listen to your own innate intelligence. Now, we're not very good at this in the West, usually. I'm sure a lot of you out there are, but in general, we're too busy to be listening to the body. And we put all these things that we're going to do away in a perceived future, and we just don't do them, quite simply. And this is the fantastic thing about the immersion retreat, is that you come and you stay with me for a week and you're immersed in this stuff. And you will just come out, you will fly quite literally out the other side, because you're going to have let go of so many negative frequencies and energies in the body. You're just going to feel incredible. So from a cellular level, we're looking at removing the outdated limiting programs, and we're looking to let happen into the cell's intelligence. So is this the right food for me? Is this the right place for me to go right now? Is this the right relationship for me? Is this the right job for me? Because what we tend to do is we stay where we are because we're scared, too scared to make the changes, quite simply. I've done it myself. We all do it. And we don't want to put ourselves out there because we want to stay secure. So we stay here. And the cells and the intuition's going, oh, come on, I want to try this, I want to do this, I want to go here. We're like, no, I'm too scared. And maybe, there's 3 areas I can help you with: your health, your wealth, and your relationships. And here's the one that I think is the most important, is your relationships. Primarily your relationship with yourself. Because see, if you have a really loving, accepting relationship with yourself, then that's what spreads out to all your other relationships. That will increase your health and your wealth. Because here's the thing, you can drink as much juice and run as far as you want, but if you are deep down inside not getting served at a higher purpose, your body will start to crumble down. So you may experience disease even if you believe you're doing everything right. You need to be happy, you need to be connected, you need to feel it, and you need to listen. So this is why I do what I do, because much as I know that exercise and food is really important, this is a hugely missed out area. Our connection to others, our giving back and helping the planet, helping our fellow human beings, because we know, thanks to heart math, and where is it they are again? Phoenix, I think, somewhere in the west coast of America, that we have a much stronger resonance when we give than from what we get. They can measure our energy, our emotion is magnetic. So if we're giving out a really strong feeling of love, and we give to some others, and we help others, and we make a difference, we benefit from that. So it's not only is it fun, it's really good for your health to give back. So the cells are holding all this incredible information, and we're not really tapping into that, which is crazy when you think about it, because we just basically, I'm all about fun and joy. You need to have fun and enjoy your lives, because even in the spiritual paths, you can take it all too seriously. And then it gets lost, as Carolyn Mace brilliantly said, there's nothing worse than a vengeful vegetarian. So, we need to, it's an overview. The healing plan's an overview. Radical remissions is about the overview. It's not just about the food. It's not just about the exercise. It's about trusting and surrendering as well. And you know what, we carry around a lot of stuff nowadays, and we try to control, and we resist, and we exhaust ourselves. And that's what I'm going to teach you, is how to stop doing that. It's a huge relief, trust me. So that's about the cells. It's the information, the valuable information that we have in there on 2 levels. One, that it's giving us information about what's right and wrong in our lives and where we should be going. Esther and Jerry Hicks talk about your emotional guidance system. If it feels good, you're thinking about the right thing. And if it feels bad, you're thinking about the wrong thing. And how do you know? Because you can feel it. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the techniques. So we're just listening to our intuition and taking steps and going in the direction based on an inner knowing, rather than, oh, I should do this and I should do that and this is what everybody else does and what if I don't, what will they think, all the worrying about approval and security and trying to control everything, all of these things. When we start to release and let go, the intuition becomes louder. But also what can happen is that the programming, the negative programming will come up, you know, what the fear will come in, and we just again use the techniques to break that down and create this real expansion at a cellular level. Then I'm going to let me now move on to the healing plan, because the healing plan for me, as I said earlier, people write and say, what do you think, what can I do, and you know, and the reality is not everybody's got a budget to come and work with me privately, and I fully understand and appreciate that. And you know, I do give away a lot in terms of, I give you a free 20-minute consultation. I can teach you a lot in 20 minutes, how to, so that if you can't afford it, if the money, you can't put the money that my way or this way for now, then I can still really help you. You can watch my YouTube videos, etc. This plan was put together for everyone in this planet because I believe if you can get unwell, then you can get well again. It's very simple. If it goes, it's physics. It goes that if it can go that way, it can go that way. And often it's really small things. We're looking for really complicated answers. Are you spending enough time outside? Outside, breathing fresh air? Probably not. Are you taking some time for yourself? Are you really, really looking after this body that you're in? Are you exercising? Are you drinking water? I'm not going to give you the whole healing plan here because you can get it when you click onto my website. There's a link there and we'll send it out to you. But on this plan, everything is really accessible. Nutrition is the only thing that you have to pay for and buy. And if you have a garden and you grow a lot of your own stuff, then clearly, you know, that's the best way. I'm really, really looking forward to having a garden and being able to grow all my own greens. I know it's amazing. I was going out to my friend's garden and just pulling out her beetroot and her kale and just juicing it there and then. It's alive. It's just, you know, because basically it's about life. You know, that's why seeds are so brilliant as well, because, you know, a seed is just like the power in the seed for the whole of the plant. And we can just hydrate the seeds and eat them and we get all that incredible energy and all these enzymes. So nutrition does not need to be expensive. In fact, when you go plant-based protein, and you'll find you'll probably save a lot of money. So the healing plan will help you with that. And obviously on the retreat, particularly the immersion retreat, not the fasting retreat, I teach you a lot of raw food recipes and dinners and juices and smoothies. That's part of what we do, because the more live nutrition you can get into the body, the more alive you're going to feel. It ain't rocket science. Eat life. Look, two things that I need you to do when you look at your plate. One, are there any nutrients in this plate? Two, are there any chemicals in this plate? So make your decisions wisely about what you're putting in your body. So that's enough about the healing plan, because again, I could spend like a whole webinar on that. Please just pop your email address in and we'll send it out to you. But of course, again, a bit like the knowing what to eat, it's not the knowledge that gets you the results, it's the action. So take the healing plan, but use it. Follow the guidelines. It's actually so simple, and you can usually take 2 or 3 of the steps and do them at the same time. But you know, the only way you will actually get the result, again, liken it to the gym analogy, is to keep going back to the gym, or keep going out and running, or keep doing your yoga. After a few weeks, you will start to see and feel the difference. It cannot be any other way. People say, oh, it didn't work. That is just not true. You didn't do the work. It's quite simple. It's like going to the gym and people say, oh, that diet didn't work, or that I went to the gym. No. It's not, again, it's not complicated. You put the right food in, you lift the right weight, you get the heart rate up, you will get fitter. You will create more muscle. That's the way it is. And it's exactly the same with the release techniques. You practice it and you will 100% guaranteed get the results. Okay, so let me move on to number 3, which is basically clearing the subconscious mind. Now, on the retreat, you will be treated to some touch and talk therapies. When I work on Skype, obviously it's all done via talk therapies, which are very powerful, but there are different ways to release the garbage from the subconscious mind, from the cells. Remember, we're trying to get all the old outdated information out the cells so that you can shine through yourself. Everything in the immersion retreat is specifically designed to help you get as clear and expanded as possible, using a variety of cutting edge and ancient techniques. I actually personally teach 9 different ways to let go, and you will experience all of them should you come in one of my retreats. But I'm going to teach you very, very quickly just 5 of the techniques that I use so that you've got something that you can actually practically use from this webinar. But please remember, you still have to do it. You have to take the action. So let's just talk about the things that affect, because they're on the healing plan as well. Everything in the healing plan is again to create this cellular expansion. What are you doing right now? Are your cells going like this, or are they going like this? And maybe you walk into your workplace and there's maybe somebody in there that pushes your buttons and the cells just go into this place. Maybe it's in your home, maybe it's one of your children, maybe it's your partner, maybe it's your parents, maybe they're getting older and they're not well, there's loads and loads of things for sure that we have that we can worry about and we can stress about if we need to be. So everything that we're doing in the immersion and everything on the healing plan is to teach you how to stay in this expanded state as much as possible. And when and if negative emotions come in, what we do with them and how we allow them, because we're emotional beings and negative emotions are big part of our lives. I'm not saying you'll never feel negative again or never feel sad. It's relevant that we have all these feelings. It's just when the feelings are going on and on and on and on and they're ruining the now and they're ruining a potential future. That's when we really need to address it. So the touch and talk therapies, everything is designed to help you release from the cells. So we're using obviously massage, different energy therapies. And there's a few little surprises in there that I'm not going to tell you everything today. But just know that this is what we're going to do. This is the whole reason for releasing. And it's the same in the private sessions. Well, obviously, if you work with me one-to-one, then I just home right in on your problem, and it's very, very powerful. I was always under the impression that I could teach people the techniques and they could go away and do it themselves. But a bit like personal training, the reality is that often we don't do it unless we've got somebody there saying, right. or maybe you just work on it a little bit until you feel slightly better, but you don't actually get yourself to that complete state of acceptance. So one-to-one sessions are hugely powerful. And apparently there's something in the Bible that says, like, be thy brother's keeper. And it simply means that when we do things together, we get a better result. I always liken it to an analogy of, if I was going to lift a really heavy table, then if you help me, as much as half the load. So it's the same thing. When we get together as human beings and cooperate and collaborate together, we can achieve incredible stuff. So everything that we're doing, again, is remember about this cellular expansion. So I think that's enough about clearing the I'm going to show you the techniques, but I'm just going to run through the next one, which is, before I do that, which is about fasting. And on the fasting retreat, you'll be having exactly the same touch and talk therapies. It'll be much more focused on releasing on a daily basis, because as I said, there's going to be lots of stuff pops up, lots of addictions can pop up when we start fasting, and it's all here. You'll be like, there'll be plenty of times that you've not eaten till lunchtime, but the minute you go on a fast, you start thinking food. And it's really, really interesting for me anyway, because I like trying all these different things, but it's really, really interesting to listen to the mind, particularly when you start to understand that a lot of your thoughts are just rubbish anyway. And we'll discuss thoughts a little bit more too. So yeah, every single thing in the fasting retreat will be the same as the immersion, apart from the food. Obviously it's just going to be water and teas, and that is specifically designed to, again, create this massive cellular expansion. There'll be a lot of contraction in between, but we'll use the techniques and really power you up so that you can just release. And there'll be some siestas and lying down, because obviously you need to take it easy and really, really listen to the body. Really, I mean, it sounds crazy to get excited about fasting, but the last time I just felt so amazing at the end. And so did my friend Jackie that did it with us. And if you kind of Google some of the things about fasting, you'll always hear that people just, they're like, you actually get to the stage, I don't want to actually spoil this incredible feeling of lightness. So that's the fasting. Now, before I finish up on the connecting back to the power of the planet, Mother Nature, I mean, really, planet Earth, the most beautiful, incredible place, and how the Earth actually gives off the Schumann wave, and how we can click into the energy which has an anti-inflammatory effect on the body. And when we utilise different things from the planet, herbs, spices, gardens, nature, the ocean, we can actually increase our well-being and again create this cellular expansion, which really helps us to release anything that needs to go. Now, you know, if you go for a walk in the mountains, you know if you go for a walk down the river by the forest, and you know if you go to the beach that you just feel better. But we probably think it's more a visual thing. It's just beautiful to look at the absolute wonder of nature, but it's actually more than that. We're actually going into an energetically aligned space that quite literally communicates to the cells in our body, and it's just so intelligent and incredible. And again, when you go back to the cells, how the brains start to entrain with other people, and how our cells start to communicate. And again, Lynn McTaggart in The Bond, another amazing book, where really there's this interaction at a cellular level is going on, and we don't even realise it. And how to utilise again and make this a more mindful thing. So that we can, and it's a mindfulness, and you'll have heard that term loads of times. It's really, again, it's just a level of awareness. You come up and you just are a little bit more aware, you know, because again, we get so busy, we don't listen to the body, we eat on the run, and you know, we're trying to do 300 things at once. So we're kind of lost the language that we can have with the body. So on the retreat in particular, I'm going to teach you how to listen to your own inner lie detector, and how to get and tap into the valuable information that your body is undoubtedly giving you. So we're going to invoke the power of nature to really help the healing and fun process. So let's just look at the techniques. I'm going to tell you about 5, really simple. Give you just a tiny little bit. There's no way I can teach you them all, obviously, in one short webinar, but I'll give you enough to actually make a difference to your life. If you want to come and immerse, if you really like the sound of this stuff and you're up for it, then please come in one of the retreats, because you'll just be so glad that you did. It's just such an incredible feeling to immerse yourself. I always say to people, if you do a yoga retreat where you're just doing yoga all week and your body just goes to another place, well, it's similar to this. You will be doing yoga as well, but the mind stuff, it just takes you to another place. And really, it's an experiential thing. I can bang on about how amazing it is, obviously, but you really need to come on and experience it for yourself. So let's look at our thoughts. Now, we know that thoughts are electrical in nature, and I'm sure you'll have had an experience where you think something, and so say it was something really fearful, you'll feel it in the body straight away. It's like lightning, because there's this connection, electrical circuitry, that when I think that thought, boom, the body reacts and responds. So what we're doing is we're unhooking this reaction from the body, so that the memory no longer hurts the body. So thoughts, let's start with the thoughts. Again, we have thousands, tens of thousands a day apparently, but most of them come and go and we don't give them any real airtime. But on occasion we'll grab one and we'll believe it. And this is where the amazing Byron Katie's work comes into play. She has a 4-question process, and the first question is that true? Now, often this is the only one that you will need. So, for example, my partner doesn't understand me. Is that true? Well, yes, I think it's true. So, question number 2 is, can you absolutely 100% know that's true? So maybe it starts to crumble there. Question number 3, how does it make you feel when you choose to believe that thought? So you can see there, you're choosing to believe it. So you're causing your own suffering here, possibly with a thought that is not true. Then question number 4 is, who would you be without that thought? So you just start realising the whole space opens up. Now again, that's just a tiny little touch of the work, and I can't go into the whole thing, but just remember, if you hear somebody saying something, you just think, is that true? Hear yourself saying something. Is it true? Because, and that'll take me straight into affirmations. Let me give you an example. I am is one of the most powerful statements we can say to ourselves. But most of us are saying something negative. I am too fat. I am too this. I am broke. I am really unlucky with attracting the right partner. So we're saying the very thing that we don't want. So what do the cells do? They go into a state of contraction. I am broke. I am fat. So we can change that around by turning it into a question. This comes from access consciousness. So clearly, there's 2 ways you can do this. You can turn a negative affirmation into a positive one. So I am too fat into I allow myself to lose X amount of weight. So you're turning the negative affirmation into a positive intention. I allow myself to lose, and get clear on how much weight you would like to lose. Or you can turn it into a question. What would it take for me to lose X amount of weight? What would it take for me to attract the most perfect partner into my life that would help me grow through love? What else is possible for me? And can you see how the cells start to go, oh, this is more like it. I like the sound of this. Instead of saying all this negative stuff, we've done one of 2 things. We've turned it into a positive, allowing statement, or we've turned it into a question. Absolutely simple and fantastic. And once you get into the habit, you can help others. That's the brilliant thing about these techniques. If you know anyone who's really suffering from negative thoughts and fear right now, please share this with them. It's so easy to learn, and the more of us that do it, the more we can remind each other to do it, because once I've taught you, the only thing that you have to do is remember to use them. So that's the affirmations, turning it into a question. So we have the thoughts, the words, the affirmations, the self-talk. What are you saying about yourself? So start thinking about turning any negative statements into a positive affirmation and intention, or turning it into a question. And get a pen. I should have said this earlier, sorry, but be sure you've got a pen and a bit of paper to write things down, because getting clear, if you can imagine there's a whole bundle of energy out there that you can use the power of your mind to change, release or attract, then you have to be clear of exactly what it is that you want, because no one else can do this for you, only you. Clarity. You have to be clear and you have to be sure. Do you really want it? Right, decide. Decide with absolute certainty, 100% intention, I'm having this. This is what I'm going to attract. Because if you do that, oh, I'm not really sure and I don't really know, then what do you expect to get? More wishy-washy, more unclarity, or whatever the word is. So you need to get clear. Start one step at a time. Now I'll give you an example. When I, excuse me, it's a little bit warm. When I was really fed up living in the rain in Scotland, I didn't know where I wanted to go, but what I did know was I couldn't live in constant rain because I love being outside. So what does that tell you? I don't like living in the rain. I like living in the sun. So then I just change it round to I allow myself to live in a hot, sunny country. So you can start off by realising what it is you don't want, because what you don't want is giving you valuable information about what you do want. Okay? Really simple, but again, just take some time. Sit with a pen and paper one night and just think on the 3 areas: your health, your wealth, and your relationships. What needs to change so that you can have a much higher vibration, so that you feel happier on a daily basis? And you know what? Most of us don't want a huge amount. See, when you start letting go of feelings, negative feelings, it's just really nice to get to peace. And you'll find that, you know, actually what's really cool is sitting watching the sunset with your friends, a bottle of wine. Maybe doing some yoga with a whole crowd of people. Maybe hanging out with your grandchildren for the holidays. If you're not as old as me, maybe hanging out with your kids, or just whatever it is that most of us aren't really looking for a huge amount. We just want peace. And for me, I love nature. I love mountains, I love the ocean, I love sailing, I love snowboarding, I love skiing, I love all of that stuff. So really make sure that you're doing the things that having, being, seeing, things that really make your cells expand. Because you can see, flinging yourself off a cliff on a snowboard might make some people's cells contract. It makes mine expand. So you need to find the thing that you love. What is it that really causes your cells to go, yes? Right, so sorry, I lost my place, I get so excited. So the thoughts, are you believing your thoughts? Is it true? Is the thing you're worrying about, is it true? Then the affirmations, turn any negative statements into positive, intentional affirmations, or turn it into a question. Then you have the Sedona method and EFT, and I'm going to just run through a little release for the Sedona method first. So the Sedona method is very body focused. How does it feel? Close your eyes, come down into the body and see what energy is there. Now, again, go back to what my experience is working with people who are ill. So there's a lot of fear. And a lot of that will be carried in the solar plexus and the sacral area, the lower tummy. So you can just come in, if you're scared, you'll usually feel it there. Sometimes it comes up here, it can be all over, it doesn't matter. Just get into the habit of checking what energy is in your energy system right now. Because what happens is, so this is the thought, it comes in, we don't like the thought, so we're just like, oh, I don't like that. So we actually cellularly contract and hold the very thing that we don't want in. But at any given time, we can let it go. This is the Sedona method. So you can think about something that's bothering you, or you can think about something you'd love to attract. Exact same process, different intention, that's all. So you think about it, and then you see where you can feel it in the body. So if there's anything worrying you right now, or if you just want to go in and check and see if there's any negative energy in the body. And just for now, as best you can, just allow whatever's there to be. Just observe, have a look inside as if it was someone else's body. Welcome all the sights, sounds and sensations. And then just open the door and let it all go. Set it free. Allow the energy to leave, to dissolve, release. Okay, that's all you have to do. Again, it's obviously there's a lot more involved that I can teach you if you come in the immersion, or if you'd like to work privately one-to-one with me. I'll go into much more depth, obviously, but for that, for now, feel it, welcome it, and let it go. And if it's something that you would love to see in your life, see it, feel it, welcome it, and let it go. Okay? Now, the final technique I'm going to share with you, EFT. Now, I have to be honest, I was never a great fan of affirmations, because they just, using the words alone just didn't make any sense to me, because The words are one thing, but if they're not filled and fueled by the emotion, then they're wishy-washy. Now, some people can use the words over and over again to create the state, but for me it's much faster just to use EFT. So again, just a generic tap. The first time you do this, you might feel a bit silly because I certainly know I was a bit like, what? Just tap here and do this? Really? It's so incredibly powerful. So do not let the silliness put you off. Basically, we're just working on the meridians, which is the energy system in our energy body. The same thing that's been used for thousands of years with acupuncture, acupressure. For some reason, it seems to be on these circuit lines, things can get jammed. I don't fully know what it is, but when we tap, we release the blocks. That simple. And again, you can use it for two things. What is it that you're really not enjoying and liking and thinking and without giving yourself a hard time? You just basically look at all of that and just say it's okay. And then the cells go, oh, thanks for that. Because if you're resisting and judging all the time, the cells are contracting, whereas when you do EFT, the cells just go, whew, what a relief. So, negative things and then the positive things. So if, for example, even though I'm thinking these negative thoughts, even though I'm feeling like crap, even though I wish things were different, even though I can't believe this is happening to me, that's all the things that we think and we feel bad about. So then you would just say, I deeply and completely love. So this, you're going from all this to I deeply and completely love, trust and accept myself. Wow. And suddenly you're just allowing. Then I allow myself. So again, using an affirmation and an intention. I allow myself to let go all of this fear. I am open to releasing all emotional suffering now. I allow myself to feel peaceful and calm. I allow myself to believe I can heal. Whatever it is that you would love. And be careful with your selection of words as well, because quite often I'll just add in a few words for people and they'll just go, yeah, I like that. When you're using an affirmation, it needs to be something you like, that you think, yeah, I want that. I absolutely want it to be like that. I want to feel like that. I want to have it. You need to have the passion there so that you're inspired and motivated to do it and excited to do it, and so that you enjoy the process. Excuse me while I just mop myself down. So let's just do it. We'll just do a very generic one in energy, because basically most people I work with are tired and they would like a little bit more energy. So we'll just do a generic one. If you need any help with the wording, just send me a private message on Facebook or via my website, and I will help you formulate the right ones for you. Okay, so just tap with me and just repeat out loud after me. Even although I'm feeling really tired and I feel sometimes stressed and overwhelmed, and I would just love more energy. There's just not enough hours in the day for me. But even although I'm feeling and thinking these things, I deeply and completely love, trust and accept myself. Okay, a deep breath. And you probably just feel a little bit lighter after one. If you don't, no problem. Just repeat and repeat until you start to feel the change of state. And then you can look at the affirmation. Again, tap with me. I am open to more energy. I allow myself to release all this fatigue and stress. I allow my energy to rise on a daily basis. I am so grateful for feeling more energetic. I am releasing all negative energy from my body. I allow myself to be peaceful and calm. I am releasing all stress and fear. Okay, deep breath. So, hopefully you got a little feeling there of just how you can just change. It might just have been very subtle, it might have been slight, but you can see that's just in 30 seconds what you can achieve when you really put your mind to this and really put your focus behind it. Like I keep banging on about, you need to practice, you need to take action. How we get things from the conscious mind into the subconscious, how we create new, helpful, healthy programs is repetition and practice. Repeat, 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 repeat until you do it without thinking. And then this can just be your new way to be. As children, we feel things and we release it and we move on. As adults, that's when we start to store, probably a lot younger, we start to store all the stuff and the resentments and the anger and the stress in the body. And the body's, no wonder the body's tired, it's holding all that rubbish from the past. So now is the time to put your bin out. By using these techniques, get rid of anything that could possibly be debilitating your energy. Practice, practice, practice makes perfection. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it, and the more powerful and the more free you're going to feel. Now, as a special thank you, because I really, really appreciate you taking the time to watch this webinar, really from the bottom of my heart. I know how precious time is. So I would like to offer everyone who is watching, I do my sessions, either you can buy one, obviously, if you just need a one-off session, or I recommend that what I do is you get 5 sessions, you pay for 4 and you get 1 free, because 5 weeks of repeated action makes a habit, so I will support you along that journey. If you're incurably ill, if you've got a chronic disease, you might need a lot more support than that. It's up to you. So anyway, what I'm going to do is whatever you buy today, I'm going to give you the same again for free. So if you buy your 4 sessions, where you get 5, you will get 10. If you buy 1, you will get 2, as a special thank you, because I cannot obviously do this work and get these results without you, and I really, really appreciate people's trust. And then for the retreats, because again, if you go to my site, liliasinclair.com, you can go to my immersion retreat site from there. I've got immersion Malta on the 1st of October. Then we've got the fasting retreat in, I think it's the 4th of November. Then we're going to India in January. Oh, so excited about that. And then there's other retreats going in. I'm working on them right now. I've got an adventure retreat, I've got a walking retreat, we've got a cycling one. So all of these things are going on. And again, as a thank you, there's a 10% off voucher for anybody who buys any of the products. And I really, really hope to see you on an immersion or one of the other retreats soon. And if you'd like to work with me privately, one-to-one, to really release any stuff that you feel is heavy and difficult, then please, I am delighted and happy to have free 20 minutes consultation, so that you can get to chat to me, see if it feels right for you. Because again, if you're not going to take on the techniques and practice them, then you're not going to get the results. So really, that's not good for my reputation. I need people who are ready to make the changes and who are actually going to take the action. And I know, remember, whether you're taking action or not, because if you're not getting the result, you're not taking the action. It is absolutely plain and simple. So I hope you've got something out of this webinar, just to help you, feel lighter and feel more excited about your life, maybe to give you some hope. If you have anyone in your circle of friends who maybe is struggling with health or wealth or relationships, then please pass this webinar on. And as I say, the techniques are so simple. Don't let that fool you into how powerful and transformational they are. All you have to do is practice. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful day. Ciao.